They all share one common theme: they're all live. So when you add in things like YouTube and Twitch and Mixer into the mix, you get even more awkward fails, funny moments, and strange occurrences as well. But as we all know, it's not always fun and games. Sometimes things take a turn for the worse and they go horribly wrong, or things just don't pan out how they were supposed to, which can result in some serious bummers for all parties involved. Whether it's the feels of an intense video game becoming all too real, or something genuinely upsetting going on in the chat or in real life, sometimes streamers end up breaking down in front of their audience, which ends up resulting in a massive feels trip for all of those watching. So today, you might want to grab a tissue or two, or maybe an onion if you need an excuse, because we're going to be breaking down 7 of the saddest moments ever caught on Twitch streams. So without further ado, let's get into the list. Number 1. Ice Poseidon Tells All. Paul Danino, otherwise known as Ice Poseidon, is a pretty popular personality and one of the largest streamers out there right now, as he has pretty much dominated the IRL streaming genre for quite some time. Prior to being banned on Twitch, Ice Poseidon was consistently pulling in thousands upon thousands of unique viewers each stream, as he would travel around the world messing around for hours at a time. Whether it was dressing up weird with his friends or simply walking around and interacting with other people on the street, Ice Poseidon's streams were always full of surprises, including one where Ice switched from his normal cheery and goofy self to a much more mellow and serious tone, and he essentially just spilled the beans regarding what was going on in his life at the time that was seriously bothering him. As I said, Ice is typically very upbeat, funny, and entertaining on his streams, as he always has entertaining content as his #1 priority. So to see him kick on a stream with an entirely different attitude immediately caught his fan base off guard. In this clip in specific, Ice starts off by saying that he holds a very high standard of quality for his streams, and that recently his mindset and mood just haven't been the best, and he feels like that could potentially ruin the streams, which resulted in him taking a minor break and stepping away from his usual consistency and schedule. He goes on to explain that even though he lives with his parents currently, he hardly even talks to anyone anymore about his problems, even them when they're just 2 doors down the hallway. As the clip goes on, you can notice that Ice's eyes begin to get a bit more watery, and this is when his viewers at the time really started to notice that this was actually taking a pretty big toll on him all around. He continues to talk about how streaming really limits his ability to interact with anyone outside of the stream itself, which is really growing to be a bit more troublesome for him. This is definitely a very different side of Ice Poseidon than we are used to seeing, but thankfully in the time since this stream happened, Ice has got it back together and is back dominating the IRL streaming genre. Anyways, let's take a look at Ice's breakdown.
What's going on, guys? No, I don't know if this is even live. I assume it is. I'm using an app on my phone. I can't see the Twitch chat because I just have my phone. I know it's echoing though. Or can you? I'm just gonna take the risk. This is not gonna be like any kind of real stream. This is just a 5-minute thing. I just try. I don't know, man. I just try to do the best that I can. And I do, man. The streams are good, I think, for most of the time. But when I have one bad stream, like, I feel like a fucking bitch right now, man. But I have other, man, I don't know. Just other issues as well.
Number 2. RS Glory and Gold breaks down. The vast majority of the streaming scene on YouTube, Twitch, and pretty much anywhere else is dominated by people in their teens and 20s and 30s for the most part, as the whole concept of streaming is a relatively new media when it comes down to it. However, here and there you do have the outliers, the people who are in the content creation industry that just don't really line up with the regular criteria, and RS Glory and Gold is one of those outliers. Tony Ray is a 65-year-old man who's retired and now spends his time streaming RuneScape on Twitch to his 280,000 plus followers. However, at the time of this clip you guys are about to see, Tony was a much smaller channel and in general had a much smaller presence on the internet, which is probably why this situation got as out of hand as it did, since Tony did not have as big of a community to back him up. Anyways, long story short, Keemstar ended up talking about Tony in a drama alert video, claiming that he had done some not so good things in his past. However, the information that Keemstar talked about in this video was incorrect, and thus RS Glory and Gold was receiving a massive wave of hate for literally no reason whatsoever. So on his stream shortly after the drama alert video went live, Tony ended up breaking down, saying that he doesn't want to see all the hate since everyone now knows that Keemstar came out and said all the info was incorrect, and that Tony really was a good guy after all. He goes on to say that he knows who his friends are and that they know he's a good person and that he's always been a good person. And really all he wants to do now is enjoy his time on Twitch with his RuneScape community. And this is, well, pretty tough to watch, especially since you can tell Tony really just means well. Take a look.
Okay, from what I gather here, you're saying that finally this guy who posted this video has taken the video down and admitted that what he said wasn't true. And that now everybody in the world knows my real name's Tony Ray Winchester. I'm 62. I've retired. I haven't got my first Social Security check yet, but I'll get it soon. See, I would have sat here for the next 10 years because I'm not going to let somebody run me off. But now that the whole thing's cleared up, and you guys know I'm a good guy, I'd like to go take a break. Wash my face. Put some cold water on my face. Have a cup of coffee. Relax for a minute. And then I'll come back and start tweeting again. Or twitching again, okay?
Number 3. DrDisrespect admits his mistakes. DrDisrespect, aka The Doc, is one of the biggest gaming streamers on all of Twitch, and with good reason. He has seriously made himself a standout name thanks to his personality and attitude while he's live. The Doc isn't just a streamer, the Doc is a character, he's an icon, he's got confidence, he's got skill, he's got just about anything and everything you could imagine, including the ability to make some mistakes because one day randomly DrDisrespect fired up a stream and to his viewers it seemed like it was going to be another day of dominance on the battlefield. However, upon switching to his facecam screen, the Doc was nowhere to be found and it was instead the man behind the mullet, Guy Beam. And he unfortunately had to get pretty serious all of a sudden and announced that he would be taking some time off of streaming to focus on restoring his family's relationship after he admitted to being unfaithful. Throughout the clip, you can see and hear the Doc getting choked up and getting pretty upset with himself, which is about as polar opposite as he can be from his normal self that we are so used to seeing on stream. Check it out.
Kind of have a little bit of an announcement. And I just want to be completely transparent with you guys. As you guys know, I have a beautiful family and a wife and kid. And I want to be transparent that I've been unfaithful. And I'm probably going to be taking some time away. Time off to focus on stupid fucking mistakes, man. I'm gonna take time off to focus on my family and so I just wanted to let you guys know that, and I apologize to you guys and Slick Daddy. I apologize to you guys, my sponsors and Twitch. And this is not who I am. It's not what I represent. And that's it.
Number 4. Loop gets kicked. Loop is a CSGO streamer who honestly is one of the coolest streamers that I've ever come across, simply for the reason that despite being disabled and legally blind and deaf, he is still a top-ranked ESEA player and an awesome streamer. However, in one ESEA match, his team thought he was trolling and proceeded to bully him via voice chat and then kick him from the game despite him giving his best effort in-game. Frankly, the clip speaks for itself, so I don't want to talk too much about this one in specific, but I do want to say after these clips surfaced, Loop got a ton of support from the community, which is really cool to see. Anyways, this one is pretty sad, so just be prepared.
Hey, boy. Hello? 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 Hi.
Yo, what do you guys want to do? You want to just bust out A? I can buy smoke.
Blocked.
What?
Please don't.
Wait up.
Please don't
You're
troll.
just gonna get blocked.
Who wants to tech? Who wants to tech?
Dude, we know you're trolling. Just
Shut
stop.
up. You're so annoying.
You're muted already. Holy shit.
We're all just gonna end up muting you. It's alright.
Yeah. Alright. This is easy.
Just take A, I'll mollyquad.
That was good.
Number 5. Reckful reacts to getting harassed in chats. While playing some GTA 5 back in the day, Reckful noticed that someone in his chat continued to comment rude and honestly downright awful things despite being warned to stop multiple times. The chatter in question eventually went on to say that it made him feel better to say these things to Reckful, which resulted in Reckful dropping everything, turning to his viewers and admitting that rude comments and harassment actually get to him, and that this does seriously affect his mental state and his ability to entertain his community. Check it out.
What is the worst feeling? Loneliness? Loneliness is pretty bad. Fuck you, retard. Okay, I've actually seen you talk in my chat before, I think. I was about to just insta-ban you, but wait. Why do you say this? I'm just talking and you get mad. Why? What made you mad? Are you trolling? You've told me to kill myself a lot. Oh, you're an asshole, actually. Oh, wow. You've been watching for a long time. Wait, so why are you such an asshole? It's not even that rare that I look at someone's logs and they've told me to kill myself, like... It's like half the fucking time, but... Why are you such an asshole? I don't get it. The only time I look at their log, they're already an asshole. So then, half the time after I've looked at their log, they told me to kill myself, you know?
Number 6. The doc shares some bad news. We're back taking a look at another clip from DrDisrespect here in the number 6 spot, where unfortunately he's back sharing some pretty sad news with his stream. While live, the doc gets a donation from a viewer asking if there's going to be a gender reveal for his upcoming child. And this is where the doc has to once again break away from his character and announce that unfortunately his wife had a miscarriage and that they will not be having a second child. Now in this clip, Doc keeps his composure and reassures that everything will be okay moving forward, but it is pretty clear to see that this is a very sensitive topic for him, as his regular charismatic and cocky persona was nowhere to be found. Take a look.
Heisenberg Blue, thank you for the $5 donation.
A good one going.
This is with Baby Assassin number 2 on the way. Is the Champions Club going to get a gender reveal when the time comes? Well, I've been trying to avoid it for a little bit. Been trying to avoid that question for a little while. And there's a specific reason why. Unfortunately, we lost it. So we got to focus on what's next. That's a little bit of that's the bummer news that I've been trying to avoid for a little bit, for a little while. Because I've been getting a lot of those questions as of late, especially in the chat. I've been kind of quiet on it.
Number 7. Syndicate breaks down. Tom, or Syndicate, has been in the streaming game for quite some time now, and in that time his audience has seen him grow a lot as a person. And normally Tom is all about living life to the fullest and making the most of it. But in this clip in specific, he can't help but break down to tears while talking about his grandma prior to her passing away. During a charity livestream he was holding to raise money for the Motor Neuron Disease Association, Tom began explaining the story of his grandma being diagnosed with the disease. And over the course of the story, it's clear that it gets harder and harder for him to go into detail about how his grandma eventually passed away because of the disease. See for yourself.
Fucking wizard! But yeah, the whole point of this, guys, is to raise, it's a crazy test, so I'm going to need your guys' help. If you didn't know, motor neuron is a disease that eats away at your muscles and your body and everything like this, and it just kills you. My grandma got diagnosed 3 years ago, and when she got diagnosed, it was like, she got diagnosed with something. It was like, okay,
I'm not a fucking
bad,
wizard!
but I didn't know how bad, like, on the people around it would be. Ethernet, thanks for subscribing. Or internet, thanks for subscribing, and welcome aboard. Like, we had no idea how bad it would be on the people around us. Like, especially, husband, my granddad and everything, because your mum's been on the phone, and my dad and my mum don't speak. So the fact that...
I'm not a fucking wizard!
At least that's light in the situation. So the fact that my dad had spoke to my mum and found out that my grandma wasn't well, my dad was like, listen mate,
Go fuck yourself!
your grandma's really bad. There's ambulances around there.
If you guys are new here to the channel and you want to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on. That way you'll always know when a new video goes live. Once again, thanks so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy and have an awesome rest of your day.